Hi, welcome to today's class. Our class today is on indices. I believe after this class you will learn the laws of indices. You will learn to simplify expressions of indices, to solve simple equations of indices. Okay, let's begin with this. Let's say we have 8 power n. This n here is a power or index. B is the base. If we replace that n with number, let's say 4, this means a is multiplying itself into 4 places. First law, let's call it number 1, is multiplication law. This multiplication law works hand in hand with addition. Let's use an example to explain. As in, if you have a raised to power n multiplied by 8 power m, this simply means you pick one base. Since they have the same base, pick one base, add their powers. That's why I said it works hand in hand with addition. Okay, let's solve another example. Let's say this one now is, let's use something different. Let's say we have 10 to the power 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 3. Just the same thing. Pick one base, which is 110, then add their power. This gives you what? It gives 10 to the power 5. Okay, let's just do something that has to do with different numbers. Okay, let's say we have 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 3 to the power 2 multiplied by 2 to the power 6 multiplied by 3 to the power 3. If you look at this, it has 2 as base, 3 as base. Pick same base, as in pick 2, add their powers. Or if you like, you can first align them this way. 2 to the power 6 multiplied by 3 to the power 2 multiplied by 3 to the power 3. This equal to, pick one base here now, 2, add their powers, 2 plus 6. Then the other one comes 3 as base, add their powers, 3. This gives us what? 2 to the power 6 plus 2 gives us 8 multiplied by 3. 2 plus 3 gives us 5. This becomes your answer. Division law. Okay, division law works hand in hand with subtraction. This is what I mean. When you have, let's use an example. If you have, like, let's say 3 to the power 4 divided by 3 to the power 2. Since they have the same base, pick one base, subtract the powers. You are having this as your answer. Okay, let's still solve another one. 33 n to the power 7 divided by 3 n to the power 3. Okay, what is this going to give us? You can rewrite it this way, that 3 n to the power 7 divided by 3 n to the power 3. You know that 3 can cancel 33 to give 11. Then this one are of same base. Pick one base, then subtract their powers minus 3. This gives us 11 n. Then 7 minus 3 gives 4. This one is in standard form. Okay, let's say 9 times 10 to the power 9 is divided by 3 times 10 to the power 3. Okay, you can still do it the same way. Write 9 times 10 to the power 9 divided by 3 times 10 to the power 3. You know that 3 can cancel 9 to give 3. Then pick one of the tens, subtract their powers to get your answer. This becomes 3 times 10 to the power what? 6. Number 3, power law. This law resolves the problem of a number raised to a power being raised to another power. Example, let's say example A, we have a to the power n, all in parentheses raised to power b. What does this give us? It gives n times b. That's what it means. This gives us nb. this will have 2 raised to power 5 all in parentheses raised to another power 2. This is simply that 5 multiplied by the 2 to give 5 times 2 gives 10. This is it. Let's just use this one to conclude this law. Let's say we have minus 2b to power 2 all in parentheses power 2. This square in the parentheses is for this b, why this 2 is for all of them. How do you solve this? You can split it this way. Use the power to open it, multiply by that b square still in parentheses to power 2. This means minus 2 times 2. Let's do something here. When minus is multiplying minus, you have what? Plus. When plus is multiplying minus, you have what? Minus. When plus is multiplying plus, you have plus. Okay, why did I do this? This is 2, this is minus 2 to power 2, which means minus 2 in parentheses. This is parentheses, please. Minus 2 times minus 2, that's what the thing is telling us. Then this is b. You know that this 2 now is in bracket, the other one is outside the parentheses, so this minus 2 times minus 2 gives us 4. This one now gives us b to power 2 times 2 is 4. Our answer becomes 4b to power 4. That is our answer, number 4. Okay, this one is 0 index. Okay, this 0 index, more like the simplest law. It talks about, it says whenever a number is raised to power 0, the number becomes 1. Let's use the example. Let's say example 8 to power 0, the answer becomes 1. B. Another one is 99 to power 0. Even though it's closer to 100, since it's raised to power 0, it's 1. Anything raised to power 0 becomes 1. Let's say even 1 million or even more raised to power 0 becomes 1. Okay, next law is number 5. Let's call it negative index. Okay, this negative index talks about when a number is raised to a power of negative number, that negative that form the power becomes the reciprocal of the number. Let's use an example to explain better. Let's say we have 8 power minus y. This negative becomes the reciprocal of the number. The power still remains, the power comes. Okay, let's say another example. Let's now use number. Let's say we have 2 to power minus 3. This becomes, that negative becomes the reciprocal of 2 to power 3. Okay, let's still do another one that is a fraction. Let's say we have 2 over 3 all in parentheses to power what? To power 2. Okay, this becomes 1, the reciprocal, I mean that's the one I placed on top. 1 over 2 over the 3, the whole number, this whole number that appeared here, this 2 over 3, all the number I mean, now be to the power of 2, the negative will go out. So how do you solve this? This becomes 1 over 2 to power 2 over that 3 to power 2, because the 2 is for all of them. So this now becomes 1 over, I want to take it gradually. This 2 to power 2, 4 now, 3 to power 2, 9. Then we need to remove the 1. Let's do it in a way everybody will understand. Let's say this thing is more like 1 divided by 4 over 9. This thing is something as if I write the 1 and decide in mathematics, if you change division to multiplication, the denominator of the right hand side becomes the numerator, while the other one becomes the denominator, which is 9 over 4, which gives us 9 over 4 as our answer. Or from this now, 1 over 2 to power 2 over 3 to power 2, somebody can simply pick to solve it this way. 2 to power 2 over 3 to power 2, which is 1 times 3 to the power 2. 1 times 3 to the power 2 over 2 to the power 2. This gives you your answer, 3 to the power 2 over 2 to the power 2. This is just the answer you need. Number 6, okay, is root power. Okay, this root power has to do with when a number is raised to a fraction. That fraction has to be 1 over any other number. How do you solve it? This is how you solve it. Let's use example A. Let's say we have a to the power 1 over 3. This simply, in this mathematics, in indices, in mathematics generally, when you have this like this now, a to the power 1 over 3, this 3, which is the denominator of the fraction used as power, becomes the root, which is cube root of this a. I won't be writing 1 here because in mathematics it's not needed. The 1 is the invisible one. Okay, let's go further in explaining something. Let's say we have, let's solve B now. Let's come through another means. Let's say we have a multiplied, square root of a multiplied by square root of a. Remember what we did here. To solve this, you can make it this way. Since this is square root, since this law is teaching you that a to the power 1 over 3 is this, which means this one can be a to the power 1 over 2, because of this square root becomes this 1 over 2 multiplied by the same thing, a to the power 1 over 2. What does this give us? This becomes multiplication. You can simply solve it. Pick one base, add the power 1 over 2. What do you have here? This, you can do the LCM of this and this. Let's just break it down in a way everybody will follow. Let's say LCM of 2 and 2. What can divide this is 2. 2 divide is 1. 2 divide is 1. Since 2 has divided all of them to give 1, 1, 2 is the LCM. Then what are you going to do now? This 2 now divided by this 2. What it gives, multiply by the numerator of this fraction. What does it give? 2 divided by 2 is 1 times 1 is 1. Then this plus comes down. This 2 divided by this 2 gives what? 1 times this 1, 1. What is this giving us now? It's giving us 1 plus 1 is what? Is 2 over 2. This 2 cancel this 2. Your answer becomes a to the power 1. No need of writing it. Your answer becomes a. Let's say this one is c. Let's say we have square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 2 divided by square root of 2. This, you can solve it the same way we did this second one. This is 2 to the power 1 over 2 multiplied by 2 to the power 1 over 2 divided by 2 to the power 1 over 2. This gives us 2 to the power 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 because of this multiplication. Then for this one now is minus 1 over 2 equal to 2. Then LCM is 2. This gives 1 here. The positive comes down. 1 again come. This one is negative 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 minus 1 again is what? Is 1. Then 2 is for 1 over 2. This becomes your answer. Okay. 7. Fraction index law. Okay. This one is more like that of root power, but the power is no longer 1 over something. The power is now something that they exceed 1 over another thing. Okay, this is what I mean. Let's use an example. Let's still use a. Let's say we have a. Now a is raised to the power 4 over 3. No longer 1 here as 4 as this 4, but 4 over 3. This is simply just the same way, only that it will now give you cube root of a, only that you will now have 4 here. This is what this one is teaching, this law, index law. Remember, if you remember all of them, solving problems in indices and other maths will be easy for you. Let's say we have another example now, which is 4 to the power 5 over 2. This becomes square root of 4 to the power 5. We know that square root of 4 is 2 to the power 5. This becomes your answer. Solving examples. Okay, let's begin with number 1. Let's say we have 5y multiplied by 4y to the power 4. If you check here, you see y here and y here are of same base, and this is multiplication law. What you do is just bring these numbers into one parenthesis, then let the y pick one base from the two y's, add their powers. This is 1 plus 4, which gives you 4 times 5 gives 20, then y to the power 5. This is the answer you need. Let's still solve another example, because the more we solve, the more you learn. Let's say we have something like 5x to the power 2 multiplied by 4x to the power 0 multiplied by 2x to the power minus 6. You see, you have x here, you have x here, you have x here. You can bring all of these numbers into one parenthesis, which is 5 times 4 times 2. Then pick one x, add the powers according to the multiplication given, which is, this is the second power. For the other one, no, this is plus, sorry, this is plus. Remember, this is minus 6. What are you going to have? This 5 times 4 is 20, 20 times 2 is 40. Okay, x comes now 2 plus 0 is 2. This is plus and minus, which gives us minus, then which becomes 2 minus 6, 2 minus 6, which is 40 x to the power minus 4. You see what this one now is becoming? This is becoming negative index. So still explain it like we learned. This becomes now 40 times 1 over x to the power 4, which gives us 40 over x to the power 4. Okay, let's still solve another one. Let's call this one 3. Let's say we have minus x to the power 3, all in parentheses, to the power 2, divided by minus x to the power 4. Okay, how are we going to solve this? Here now, this 3 is for this x, then this 2 now, this 2 now is for both this negative and this x. Okay, how are you going to solve it now? You can break it as, you know that this minus x inside this parenthesis is simply minus 1 multiplying x to the power 3, all in parenthesis, to the power 2. Okay, divided by minus x to the power 4. I did split this way so that you will understand the way we are solving it, so that you don't make mistake with this sign before this x. Okay, this is simply minus 1, all in parenthesis square. I'm breaking these 2 into all of them, multiplied by x to the power 3 in parenthesis to the power 2, all over minus x to the power 4. Okay, what is this giving us? This minus 1, which is just 1, multiplied by, because minus times minus is plus, multiplied by, this now becomes x3 times 2 becomes what? 6. Okay, all over this minus x to the power 4. This becomes x to the power 6 over minus x to the power 4. We know that this is now division law. Remember, this has negative here. How are you going to solve this now? The negative will make this answer to become negative, because this 4 is just for this x. This negative is on its own, more like negative 1 here, multiplying x. Okay, this minus, then you write the x now, one base, subtract their powers, which gives us minus x to the power 2. This is the answer you need. Thank you for following in this class. I hope by God's grace you learned something. Please join me in the next class as we go into standard form. Have a nice day. Bye.